podcast in the world. I am Lloyd.
I'm JD.
What's up, man?
How much?
Last episode, we talked about shitty ass fucking gaming companies that are raping us for our pennies and coins. So what are you doing? What have you been up to, man?
Well, I've been working on stuff like we got the hats. That's done deal. So
the hat's right there. It was on the last episode, but we didn't talk about it because we talked about something else. Yeah.
So we got the hats coming. They should be here by the time this video comes out, or they should have already been out. And
this one's mine.
Yeah, that's Lloyd's. Lloyd's got the first
Maybe
one.
I'll wear it for a bit and then auction it off.
Sign it.
You can have Lloyd's stinky hat.
Yeah. Sign it with silver pen.
No, I'll sign it with black pen.
Black pens, he can't see it. They're all signed with black pen. That makes them special. But yeah, no, I mean, we made some flex fit hats and put them out there. I think the vast majority of them are gone, so we might do a pre-order thing before we order other ones if people are still interested.
The next thing we need to do is flat cap snapbacks.
Yeah.
I saw some people that wanted those in
Snapbacks?
the comments. Yeah.
Yeah.
But flat caps, like flat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like the flattened version and then with a snapback.
Yeah. What I will say is if people want stuff specifically,
well,
you just have to tell us and pre-order it and we'll get it made. Like that's
lots
how
of
it works.
people have to want it. Like if you want like a fucking something stupid like a pen.
Yeah, no. I'm talking hats.
We'll
right?
tell you to fuck off.
If you want a snapback, tell us you want a snapback. If you want, we can customize to a certain point. We've done the legwork to get the embroidery done. We've got it all set up. We've got the supply chain set up. It's all good. We just need to have certain numbers of hats to be embroidered at a certain time. Otherwise, it costs us an arm.
Well, I would like a snapback, and I want it to be gold.
Yeah,
we've talked about this.
Yeah,
I want it gold embroidered. Yeah, no one else has it.
Means we just have to do a bunch of gold hats.
Right? Fuckers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then we'll have to give away special hats. We're going to have like special hats.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you can't have a bunch of gold ones.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is if they set it up a certain way, they need to
maybe friends and family.
Right? Changing the hat isn't such a big deal, but, changing the color.
We should do flat cap snapbacks 100%.
Yeah.
Because that's sick.
There you go. We'll look at doing that. We'll set up a pre-order or something like that. So that's what I've been working on. I mean, I also have
They're comfortable.
Other podcasts that I was working on.
Other podcast?
Yeah, the photography one, the hardcore photography one that you probably never watched. So yeah, I worked on that. Did the first episode of that.
The first episode?
Yeah.
So how would I have watched it?
What's that? It's already been out. It's been out for about a month.
So it's like a different channel?
It is a completely different channel. It is hardcore photography. So, I mean, we talk about photography here.
Who's we?
I have different people on, different professional photographers that I know, and we talk about all sorts of stuff.
About what?
Photography.
Like taking pictures?
Yeah.
What is there to fucking talk about?
Well, that's why we don't talk about it on this channel, because that's exactly where we go. It's like, I was just gonna say, this is Lloyd's photography. Click.
Like fuck, it's a picture. Fuck off, mate.
Yeah, no.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean,
what is this channel called? Just some advertisement.
J Durham Photography. That's simple as that. It's been around for a while. I had done it for a while. I've
never heard of this. Yeah. I do the Lloyd and JD show review. I've never heard of this show. Obviously, going to troll the fuck out of it now, but Jesus, you need some comments. I'm guessing.
Yeah, so
I'll get in there. I'll give you some comments.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure you will. Right. Actually, you commented on the thing on Facebook where I asked what topics you wanted to cover.
I did. Just to be a dick.
Trust me, I know. It's
awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been working on that.
No one responded to my comment either.
No, I know, because everybody knew you were being a dick.
Don't ask stupid questions. You won't get stupid answers.
No, it's not a stupid question though, because there's a lot of people out there that are into photography.
But
it's hugely technical.
It's This is but that's a debate in itself, because it's art. You're taking a picture. Art's in the eye of the beholder. A picture that might not be liked by some guy will be liked by someone else, just as a picture you've drawn or a picture.
Somewhat,
for me, you can't judge something that is artistic. You can't sit there and be like, this is how you do it, because there is no certain way. Things are being created every day just by people doing things
with photography, though, there are technical aspects such as the camera and how that operates and understanding those things.
But maybe if somebody was to operate a little differently one day that they don't usually do, they might find something out about the camera they didn't know. That's my point. trial and error.
And
that's my point with art. I don't think it's something that can be taught that great, really.
Yeah.
You either have artistic talent or you don't.
Right.
That's in my opinion.
My point is you can teach the technical aspect and what you do with that information.
But they will still take a shit photo. That's my opinion.
Not necessarily.
You got to have an artistic flow, in my opinion. You can't take something that's artistic, teach it, and expect everyone to be able to do it good.
No, but you can obviously take somebody's photographs, and if you watch the first episode, we talk a lot about this, is you can take somebody who's technically going into some things and making some bad photographs and some bad photograph choices, and you can improve on that. And that's the whole thing.
Nothing's a bad photograph if you're learning as an artist.
Yeah.
That's my argument.
Yeah, there are bad photos.
You can't say there's a bad painting.
If you hire a wedding photographer, you can get bad wedding photos. If you hire a bad concert photographer, you can get terrible concert photos.
See, I beg to differ.
No, it's if you go take a look, if you take my work as a concert photographer and you get somebody in there that doesn't necessarily know what they're doing, and you get a bunch of fuzzy faces and all that kind of stuff, yeah, you can say, oh, I was artistically meaning to do that.
Well, like to release that photo would be silly because you take what, like 50 photos and then what, like release like 4?
What's that?
5?
Me?
Yeah, like if you're at a show, you take many photos and you'll pick the best ones.
Yeah, I take about 50 shots and I'll release 10 to 15.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me that there wasn't a blurry face fucking in there. So like obviously everyone's gonna get a photo that's gonna come out good. Like you can be at a concert, snap photos on your iPhone like this. If one of them's gonna be fucking mint,
maybe.
In my opinion,
and in all honesty, whether it's your opinion or not, no. The answer to that is no.
I feel like
if you put somebody that knows what they're doing, and we could do this. I could probably get you in. We'll give you a cell phone. You go to the pit. You take photographs. I'll take mine. We'll put them side by side.
Yeah,
I guarantee you.
Well, if I had the same camera, obviously your camera's going to have better aspects about it. Like that's like having better technology. If you gave me the same camera, I feel like you can get the same angle, the same. It's just an artist appeal. Like that second that you took that shot where the smoke and the face was all in the perfect setting is not only down to luck and your timing as an artist, and like, you know, you see him coming up to do something cool. You're like, I'm going to get him right here. Or I see he's going to jump, or I'm going to get him and it's going to be sweet. That I see as the artistic flow that comes with a picture. And if you don't have that artistic flow, you're going to have boring, edgy, weird fucking photos.
Yeah. And if you don't have the technical aspect, and this is my point, I can give you the same camera. We can go to the pit, and I guarantee you there'll be a night and day difference. One, because you're not going to understand what you need to be doing technically wise in order for it to be that photograph. So it'll be distorted. It'll be too dark. It'll be something. It'll be blurry.
So they're just settings that you're talking about.
Exactly.
On the camera.
We're talking about technical stuff, right? We're talking about technical aspects, and that's what I mean. You have to understand.
You're just teaching someone how to use a piece of equipment, basically. And then after that, it's artistic flow.
Absolutely.
So if you don't have artistic flow, it doesn't matter how much you can use that equipment.
You can learn rules that apply to it, like rules of thirds, all that kind of stuff for composition.
Like you can go to art school and learn how to paint a face portrait, but doesn't mean that you're gonna fucking be able to paint a face portrait when you come out the other side, because you got to be artistically inclined.
You can set up systems. Same thing with art, right? I mean, there are certain parts, like you may not be able to pull something out of your mind and execute, and that's what I mean. Like art wise, absolutely. Some people don't have that artistic edge. They don't have the imagination. Same thing we were talking about with gaming. You don't have anything that you can be creative yourself, so you can't create something from nothing. And that's the difference between an artist and somebody that's, let's just say,
taking pictures,
a commercial
that knows how to use a camera. Right. And that's how I feel a wedding photographer is.
Yeah,
you're not in any way artistic. I don't want to put down wedding photographers on the podcast. I'm just saying I feel like that type of photography, you could learn how to use a fucking camera. Like, fuck off. Like, okay, I get it. Like, there's ways to do photography. Yours is a bit different. You're doing musical stuff. You know, I like your photography. You've gotten some sweet shots of bands I know. Like, yeah, there's so much artistic value there. I don't want to go after photography. I'm just saying that, like, wedding photography, you're fucking taking a picture of people kissing and shit. Like, you show me how to use the camera, I'll fucking do it.
There is a difference. Trust me.
No, man.
There is a huge difference.
I saw a fucking wedding going on the other day, and I saw the photographer, and like I was taking her spot any second.
I guarantee you can take a look at some wedding photographers' photographs, and this is what we talked about on the first episode of the other podcast. Basically, you can take a look at theirs, and you can take a look at somebody else, and there is a night and day difference. There is a huge thing. It's a wedding photograph. You don't appreciate it though. right?
No, but it's a wedding photograph.
Yeah.
Like you took a photograph of someone kissing. The only way you can make that different is by inventing different poses or having a good photograph, like the best wedding photograph I've seen.
Is that not work? Is that not part of the photographer's job?
How often do you see that? I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of wedding pictures.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, there's only one that stands out in my mind, and it was a buddy of mine, and him and his henchmen were like all grouped up, and the photo was taken like, I don't know, it was like a fish lens or something, and it looked sick. It was the sickest wedding photo I've ever seen. But other than that, wedding photos are the same shit every time.
Yeah. Disagree. I could show you hundreds of examples, but
they're the same. Yeah. They kiss. They're holding each other. They're laying on the grass. They're fucking doing whatever.
Not always. Like I said, there's a big difference.
I don't feel there's very much you can do.
It's like everybody can drive a car, right?
Okay.
But there's a big difference between somebody you just like, here's keys, no lessons, and you put Mario Andretti in a car and say, go race around the track. There's going to be a difference. Fundamentally, they're both driving a car. But at the end of the day, the end result is much different.
Yeah, you're not driving a car, though. You're taking pictures of someone kissing in a field. I just feel like...
I'm just saying most fundamentally it's the same thing,
maybe
right?
be taking wedding photos for a fucking reason.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that shouldn't be taking wedding photos.
Everyone that takes wedding photos, maybe?
Not everybody.
I think friends and family should just take wedding photos.
Yeah, well, then you get what you get.
Kind of what you get anyway.
You get what you get at the end of it.
And I don't like. Is it the printing that you're looking for at the end? Like, because I don't get what the difference is then.
The difference
between a good wedding photo and a bad wedding photo.
Well, after the podcast, I'll show you good wedding photos.
Say like the kissing in a field. What could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? You could overexpose, right? So you could.
Yeah, but that's easy to fix stuff.
It's not easy to fix. If you get it wrong, if you get what I'm getting at is in photography, if you get something completely wrong, if I put a camera in your hand,
you've got Down syndrome, though, ain't you?
No.
Easy to fix, especially with technology these days. Most cameras will sort themselves out.
And that's the problem is cameras are stupid. People rely on the technology.
And not only that.
It's a similar argument that I have when we used to do tattooing. A lot of people are like, well, the machine does all the work.
It's like YouTubers, though. Like some of them.
Right. A lot of people think
thick, but then their videos.
A lot of people think that they can tattoo because the machine in their mind does the work.
Because that's not digital. You're drawing on someone.
Yeah.
No, that's different.
But that's what I mean. It's the same sort of mindset.
No. That's different. You're drawing on someone's skin.
Yeah. Same thing with airbrushing. People think that the airbrush does the work. That they get those nice gradients because.
Well, that's also very different. You're blowing air. You're physically doing. Something with a machine.
Like I said, you're doing something with a machine and there is a huge amount of variance. You can fuck it up. Trust me.
Yeah, but like with a camera, you've got the digital image there. Usually you've got all your fixtures and that. You know what you're doing. Usually you read the fucking manual. You know how things are working and stuff. 9 times out of 10, the pictures, no one's going to look at your picture and critique it. They're going to be like, that's a lovely picture. Like I got a mate who's getting into photography now. Just bought himself first camera last year. He's taking pictures in Asia now for like last 3 months. Beautiful photos.
Yeah.
He's getting all angles and all that.
Yeah.
He just picked up the camera. Like, I wouldn't distinguish him from another photographer because he has the artistic value there. Yeah. He's getting the artistic shots and they're in focus. They're not overexposed. There's no light.
What he's doing is he's investing time into the knowledge and technical aspects and understanding all that stuff.
But I'm just saying he pulled it off. Like, he just got the camera, went on holiday. It wasn't like he's trained. He hasn't, and that's what I mean about, I just feel like you can't, it's an artistic job. I don't think you can teach it. And I'm the same with art, and I feel like that with lots of artistic things. It's in your blood or it's not. Get over it. It's the same with fighting. You're like, if you're not a fighter, you will never be trained as a fighter. You might be able to throw a punch after you've been trained. You might know how to block, but you will never be a bona fide fighter because it's not in your blood.
Right.
It's just the way it is.
But that being said, with the fighting aspect as well, if you take an individual, right, that has no training whatsoever, and you do nothing with him, and you take an individual that's the same skill level and work with him, he will be more accomplished than that individual that done nothing with as a fighter.
Well, you can take like the geekiest kid ever with glasses and super skinny, probably weighs like 90 pounds, and teach him how to defend himself. Yeah, and if he ever had to get in a fight, he'd probably surprise someone.
But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, with that knowledge and that experience, he's better off than he was with nothing.
But if you put him in a ring and he got beat up over and over again because there was people that were better than him, he would curl up in a ball in the corner because he doesn't have that mentality of, I like to fight.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he's still further ahead, right?
But
with that training.
In my opinion, is pointless.
It's not pointless.
like, it's not pointless for him self-defense, but if we're talking about going into a sport, it's fucking pointless. You can be further ahead, but it's not your sport. Right. Get out of it. And that's what I was talking about. I was talking about professional, as in a professional sport, as in that's what you're going to do. If you picked up a camera and you've learned all of the logistics and you're still shit, you're shit, mate. Move on. And I feel like that's how art is. Yeah. If you don't have it, you don't got it. Yeah. JD can get you half the way by teaching you how to use a fucking camera correctly. But if you don't got fucking...
Right.
Artistic
and not everybody's destined to be professional, right? And that's a distinction.
And that's what I mean about wedding photos. I feel like that a lot of the time they are people that have gotten to the point to where they know how to use a camera quite well, but maybe don't have a full-fledged...
And that's part, like I said, in the other podcast we discussed that. I mean, just because, like models refer to them as GWCs.
Yeah, so if you want a real talk about photography, go to that podcast. But that's my outlook on it. I feel like, you get a lot of those that they've got the camera, they've learned it, they're bona fide photographer, but the artistic value.
Are they bona fide photographers though?
Yeah, because a lot of people that try to do things professionally like that, do it professionally like that. I find a lot of artists don't
You know as well as I do, there's tattoo artists that do that as well. They just pick up a machine
with every art form.
They go in there and they tell you they tattoo and
the people that
tattoo.
do it professionally as if, it's a business for me, it's usually not that good at it because it's artistic. You can't look at it like that ever. Yeah. If you're a tattooist, you're a tattooist because you were born to draw on people. You're good at art. It's in you. It's another thing.
Yeah, but you and I know, and we know people that's not the case, right?
Yeah, and I know people that shouldn't make music. I know people that shouldn't draw, but you can't ever tell them that because it's art and art, but it's out there.
Yeah,
and that's my thing. I find artist things hard to teach.
Yeah,
because you can only ever teach someone almost how to use.
Yeah, and that's what I'm getting at. Like, that's why I said this podcast is largely a technical podcast, right? I mean, I'm not going to say, number one, we're not going out. We're just sitting and discussing things.
But for me, that podcast would get frustrating because you would get a lot of people that were maybe that category.
Yeah. They're still going to learn things. It's still, contractual stuff, all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's
like X Factor,
learn.
The first episode.
But I mean, the realistic part of it is we sit down, we talk, and we just say, like, you really need to work on stuff. And in all honesty, I said in the first episode as well.
So you bluntly tell them your shit?
No, I just basically said you have to be honest with yourself because you're people. If you put yourself out there and say, I'm a professional, right?
Yeah.
And this is what I do. I'm a professional tattooist. I'm a professional airbrush artist. I'm a professional photographer, whatever it is, right? I better be able to deliver because if I'm lying to people at the end of the day, it's not going to end well for me.
But I find, you're 100% correct. But I find that today people are like more forgiving about people that aren't good at shit.
Yeah.
It's like really weird.
I don't personally believe in that. I don't.
I don't either. And now I feel like that's what I was trying to get at with my argument here. I feel like a lot of people are too forgiving.
Yeah, I don't forgive it. And like I said, you should actually listen to the first episode because the guy that had on David, he's a wedding photographer.
God, don't watch this episode.
He had a wedding photographer, basically taking photographs, and he knew they were going to be awful from the time being. And he talks about that experience. But this photographer was forced on him, and there was some things that people, if they were looking for it, should realize, and we went through all that. And I'm not going to go through it here because it's a long conversation as well. But watch that podcast if you're interested in photography, want to learn a thing or two, or even if you're just basically looking for hiring a photographer and stuff like that. He can
only teach you how to use the camera.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. and I can teach you how to select a photographer and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, it applies to a lot of
look
other
at portfolio.
Things as well. Yeah. There you go. But that comes from your tattooing aspect as well.
It's like any fucking artist.
But you'd be surprised at how many people, think about it. When you used to work in the tattoo studio, how many people walked in and never looked at the portfolio? Tons.
How many people looked at the portfolio and still got a tattoo?
Yeah, and that in itself is, that comes down more to your, like, our art is obviously in the eye of the beholder because
that's what I'm saying. People are like weirdly forgiving about shitty art.
It was... that was something that baffled me to no end.
And I'm a huge believer in you can't judge art, and that's what I started this talking about with the photographs. You can't judge a bad photograph, in my opinion, because some band might like a rustic look to his photograph that looks like it was taken by someone in the crowd. It gives kind of a weird feel to the photograph, like you were there and you weren't a photographer. You know what I mean? So you can... Art is in the eye of the beholder. But obviously when it comes to doing photography as a professional and people are paying you to give them clean, nice shots of the person that you're going to go see.
Or even if you want that rustic shot, is knowing how to get to that point without just faking it.
I could probably
or
get you it accidentally.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, right?
And that was my argument, is that I could probably get it accidentally and get away with it. And a lot of people are doing that.
Yeah.
That was what I was trying to get out. There are professionals out there that can pull that can...
To me, that's wrong.
Manipulate the camera in ways to get the shot that they know they're going to get. But there are a lot of people that take accidental shots. They take 50 accidental shots.
Yeah.
They do the same, and they pick...
One.
Yeah. Look at this sick shot I got. And I find that tends to be photography these days.
Yeah.
If you can maneuver that camera to the point to where you know you're getting this kind of shot, that kind of shot, then yeah, you're a fucking professional.
Yeah.
Other than that, you take pictures, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You click. And that was my joke with the click thing, because he was like, how do I take a sweet shot? And it's like, he ain't going to teach you that. You that's not something that you can say over a comment on fucking Facebook.
No. And I'll be 100%.
Click, bud.
Yeah.
And that was my joke with that is...
There's nothing you can work with somebody. I mean, it's just like art. You can take a look at something subjectively. Like you can draw a piece, and I can look at it and say, I like this about it, all this kind of stuff. Maybe
you
if
can
you
critique
did
it and mentor me on it, 100%. And if I wanted,
and if you want to improve, or if that's something that you subscribe to,
but if I drew a fucked up face for it to be fucked up, you can't improve that. You know what I mean? That came from this. That's fucked. Yeah. That's it. Is what it is. Yeah. So there's certain art that you just can't monitor. Yeah. But yeah, with that, I was laughing about the click thing because it was just kind of like, what are you going to give me over Facebook that it's going to make my photos any better than what they're going to be anyway?
I'm not giving you over Facebook. It's over. Like I said, it's a podcast and all that kind of
joke
stuff.
that I did on Facebook.
Well, that's why I didn't respond. Plus, I knew you were just being a dick.
Yeah, because it was just like, what are you going to get on this? Like, take the picture, bud. Line her up. Make sure there's no glare. Yeah. Fucking whip her out.
And the funny thing is even in that, you were one of the people that read the post, because other people were posting stuff. Let's talk, it's like talk about movies and this and that and the other thing. Like, why would I talk about movies about photography? It's a totally different, totally different ball of wax. But yeah, I mean, that's essentially what I've been working on and doing. So, I mean, it's keeping busy. Obviously, I'm doing work as well. So I'm going to concerts, shooting shows. I shot Saga, as we discussed before.
I saw those old bastards.
They are old. But what do you expect, man? Like they've released like 32 albums over their career. They've been around since '68.
I'm not putting them down.
The fact they've been around for that long. The funny thing to me still is that nobody in Canada really knows who they are, and yet they've been around for like 40 years.
Which isn't a huge insult. It's Canada. Yeah. They're a bit.
You would think that the country that you're from,
they're a little behind.
Kind of embrace you, but
good music. So.
Yeah. We had that discussion before.
I wouldn't worry about it. It's probably a good thing they don't know who you are.
Yeah. So that was good. And then I've got DeAntworth this week, and so
exciting. That's going to be
Wednesday.
A show. Wednesday?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Why do they put these nut shows on fucking Wednesdays?
It's part of their tour schedule, because I'm sure they're in Vancouver on Friday is what it is.
Who gets messed up on a Wednesday?
Yeah. There you go. So
it's one of those shows where you want to get a little bit of something in you.
Yeah.
So a little bit of something extra.
Yeah. There you go. So if you're interested in getting the hats,
and we'll get some shit. So maybe some t-shirts.
Yeah, we'll work on some stuff.
We have t-shirts for sale, but you have to go online to get them.
Yeah.
Maybe we could get t-shirts that we could throw in your face.
Yeah.
Because maybe then people would buy them more.
There you go.
I would buy them.
But yeah, take a look, check out the hats.
Take a look at the other podcast that is happening.
Take a look at the other podcasts. Subscribe to that channel as well as this channel. We're really close to 600 here. I think we're at like 20 at the other one. So
I just got to big up the iTunes guys, because we're just killing it on iTunes.
Yeah, iTunes, again, we're looking at probably setting another record this month. Last month we didn't. This month we might break it again. So appreciate all you guys on iTunes that are listening all the time. We greatly, greatly appreciate that.
Give us ideas for future rants.
You bet.
I'll talk shit about pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Some things don't get released. Right?
The hidden episodes. We'll release that 10 years from now.
No, we won't. No, we won't. Because I'll probably be even more docile than I am now.
Yeah.
So, I am Lloyd.
I'm JD.
Peace.
See ya.